Hi, and this is Sherridean just popping by to welcome you and to encourage you to view and listen to our PodTalk Becoming. It's a journey. It's a journey as artists that God cares about. He is very intimate with us becoming all that He wants us to be. He has designed us to be so much more than we sometimes even think or imagine. And according to Jeremiah 23:19, that God has great plans for us. Wow, isn't it good? We can do what we can with what we have. And that's the kind of God that we are serving. He just asks us to do what we can. Because the thing about it is that whatever we have, when we offer it back to God, it always multiplies. You know, one of the things I have discovered with persons who are getting back into their art, or even those who are artists that maybe they have a 9 to 5 job, and sometimes they want to get back, but they're saying, "Please, I'm so busy. I'm doing so many things." And I hear you, I understand you. Apart from all that I'm doing, I still have 9 to 5, not 9 to 5, but let's say from 8:40 until 2:50, I'm at my desk. And this is what I want you to realize, that for you to get back into your art, you don't need hours. You just need to make up your mind. My brother challenged me with that when I took up office. And that my excuse was I was trying to, lift up the department in the arts and different things of that nature. But I remember distinctly, and I probably mentioned it before, he said if you would dedicate at least 15 minutes per day, you will surprise yourself. And this is what the idea that was dropped into my spirit while I was driving. Do what you can with what you have. And maybe the time you have, maybe 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes to try a painting, a sketch. And you might think, it's not enough because as an artist you need hours. No, but just use the time. Even if it is a 10 centimeter square sketch, you know you're doing better than you did before. So even if it feels small or insignificant, you're making a step or move in the right place. And this is what I want us to do. Capitalize on these small steps. The truth is not always about having the time, but it's about making space on our timetable or schedule to do it. Is it necessary that we do everything? Scroll for so long or watch so many episodes? I'm not condemning, I'm not judging, but what I'm saying, is it necessary? Because these sometimes are the time that we can use to dedicate to our God-given gift. Your comeback to art doesn't begin with a masterpiece, but it comes back with the moment you decide to create a piece. So just a simple reminder, do what you can with what you have. And maybe this will help. If you schedule 10 minutes and treat it like an appointment, it's not an option, it is an appointment. With your gift is appointment with God, the one who gave you your gift and talents. Schedule the 10 minutes, whether it is every day, once a week, schedule it and keep it as an appointment. Set it on your phone so that you get an alarm. See what happens. Another suggestion, probably, what about if we replace, instead of trying to add to all you have to do, how about if you swap? In other words, as I mentioned earlier, instead of watching TV, let me pause here because this is when it dawned on me, what am I really doing with my time? I was watching a movie, right? The movie, I can't even remember the name of the movie, but it was going really good. And then the movie ended in this abrupt manner. No to be continued. It was one of those, I can't remember the technique you call that, but when it leaves you up in the air and you have to create your own ending. And I was like, so, geez, you mean this? I use all this time and to come to this? That's when I realized, you know what? Let me do something that really, really matters to my artistic growth. And so I just swap some of that time. Instead of watching or instead of scrolling all the time, to just go and create. And here's another tip. Sometimes we put away our art materials, and it's so far we don't even know, we forget we have them because they're in a drawer or they're in a cupboard. What if you had a designated area that you definitely will pass? And you have a neat setup with some art materials, not if not all, just some, enough to remind you, hey, I got to do some art. So you don't feel pressure to just go do it, you know. But I want to encourage you today in your journey of becoming what God wants you to become. At some point, it has to become priority. At some point, you have to make an appointment to meet with your Creator God so that He can inspire you to do what He called you to do. Do not bury our talents with everything else, but let's dig it up. Let's invest time in it, and let's prune it. Because whenever we start with something, even if it seems small, and you stick with it, I am telling you, it will grow. It is my story. When my brother told me to give at least 15 minutes, I wasn't painting or drawing anything. But I started to use 15 minutes, and I started working on an 8 by 10 canvas. And I started with that for a while. And by the time I got the rhythm, I moved on to 18 by 32. And now I'm still in that position, but I'm able to get paintings 4 feet or 5 feet by 6 feet and get them done. You will be amazed once you get a little rhythm how far it will go. So be encouraged, right? Let's become all God wants us to be. I know it's a journey, and starting a new pattern might be a little demanding, but it's all in the journey of becoming. As we close today, I want to leave one thing with you. Becoming is a process. It's not a pause. It's just God's ongoing work in you, shaping, refining, and aligning you with His creative process for you. So stay open, stay teachable, and stay faithful, and keep showing up. And keep showing up for becoming. See you in our next episode.